Let's talk about KenAI, the story of KenAI. So most people don't know KenAI story, and particularly your story, Christian. So I actually wanted to start this interview talking a little bit about your journey, because we have stuff to talk about your journey. Can you walk me through, Lee, maybe with some lessons learned through all of your startups and businesses that you've built until this moment? What's your story, Christian?
Oh, damn. So I've had multiple startups. So do you want the full story or short story?
I want the most insightful ones.
So then the full story it is. I so when I was 13, I enrolled into a design course. So I learned Photoshop, and it was pretty fun. But then the pandemic hit, and I had way too much free time. I hated losing time, so I searched on Google how to make money online, and that's how my first business started. I filmed an online course. I had like a 1 year of experience of design things and freelancing up to that point, and I filmed an online course. I posted it on an e-learning platform called Udemy, and I got 1,000 students in 2020 in that course. And that was pretty insane, as I was 14 at that time. And I definitely didn't expect it, but obviously it was like the pandemic, everyone was in lockdown. There were no Romanian online courses in the market. So even though I was 14, I had a monopoly because I was the first to market, and I was one of the fastest. So this could be my first lesson, which is be fast and capture the market. Um, and then with that income, plus my parents were kind enough to lend me $5,000. I hired 7 instructors, and I filmed over time 15 courses over the next 2 years. We basically filmed coding, marketing, design courses, stuff like that. And in 2 years, we had 50,000 students enrolled in those courses. And that was like insane to me and insane to everyone else. That technically made us the biggest e-learning platform in both Romania and Moldova. And then I decided to do this for other course creators. Well, the main idea I wanted to expand internationally. Romania and Moldova are smaller markets. When with 50,000 students, with our marketing, we've basically reached everyone on Facebook and Instagram at least 2 times. So we kind of saturated the market a bit, and marketing costs were going up, and I decided to not fight this battle, and I wanted to go into other things. So I then started Can Group, which was a marketing agency for course creators. And that was a more behind the scenes business. Well, both Can Group and Can AI are behind the scenes businesses, which I like more. I actually turns out I decided to that this is still fun, but boring businesses not with tens of thousands of customers are actually way more profitable. So and while Smart Voice had a lot of students, it didn't have and had a lot of revenue. It didn't really have a lot of profits because we were selling courses at $10 each, so it's not a high margin business. So I went into marketing. Uh, I did ads for my clients, for course creators, and again, that worked really well. Then, while we were trying to get more clients, obviously for Can Group, our main acquisition channel was cold outreach. So cold social media and cold email primarily. And I had a team of 5, 6 people to just do cold outreach. It was a free default team. It was a nightmare to manage, to be honest. Plus, usually there were, to be honest, like cheap VAs in some random countries. So all they did is punch a couple of buttons on the keyboard, and that's mostly it. Just listen to instructions. It's not even a pleasant job to do. But I got annoyed because volume was low. We were getting results, but volume was so low that it was barely break even, plus a lot of headaches. So I decided to learn to code and build something to automate this process. That was in the early days of AI. Well, ChatGPT, I mean. It was only out for a couple of months. And I built the first prototype in a couple of weeks. And then over time added more features internally. So it was just an internal product for us. Like in a couple of months, we were getting up to 200 meetings, sales meetings every month from our cold outreach. We're getting so many sales that it broke our delivery systems. And again, I chose to not fight that battle because it was a losing battle to scale delivery for marketing agencies. It's inherently not scalable. And I switched to tech business, which is now AI. So yeah, that's the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's not the first and last business idea because you're always generating them on go. But I'm just curious about what drives you to keep building businesses, and if in time this motivation changed somehow. If you see, let's say, from 5 years ago and now.
Well, the reason I first started is basically the same reason I'm still doing it now, which is I don't want to lose my time. Like, okay, I was 13, 14. I did not want to lose my time playing video games on social media or whatever. Frankly, I got bored in a couple of weeks of lockdowns with that. So, and now it's still the same concept. I still don't want to lose my time. And turns out business is a very high ROI activity and a very high ROI thing I could do. I get business leverage on my actions. So I find that the activity that I lose, I don't lose my time doing business, basically. Plus, it's fun. I discovered later on, it's fun. It's hard, but as I always liked hard math problems, that was me. Like I always skipped the easy ones. Same thing now. I still like the hard problems, which turns out business has a lot of them. So it just fits.
I see. So let's dig in a little bit more in Can AI. So can you explain a little bit more what is Can AI and where is Can AI right now?
So Can AI is an interesting thing. We are both an outbound agency and an outbound tool. We built both of them at the same time. So we have a team of developers. They build the outreach tool that basically controls our email infrastructure, which is important. It makes our emails not go to spam. We then get data from, well, everywhere on the web. And then we use an AI program to send emails that are partly written with AI, that are personalized with AI. So what this AI does, it goes into, like, I tell it who we want to reach out to. It goes into, well, everyone on the internet, and it then finds and qualifies if that person is a good fit, so that we don't do mass blast email. We only reach out to people that are actually qualified for our clients. and then we reach out to them using cold email or cold LinkedIn, whatever. And the second part is the agency that just uses this tool to make it more productive, that does it all for our clients. This is the approach that we take to building. Right now, AI is not good enough to have awesome results. It still has good results by itself, but it's not good enough to have awesome results. But if we combine good humans and AI, this combo makes it all work really, really well.
And I'm just curious about the idea like itself. Well, where did it come from? And how much investment and time did you sink into building that very first version of it?
For the internal product that we had at my second business, I learned coding in 1.5 weeks, and then I built it in another week. And that was the very first version, and everything that I did is I uploaded a CSV with data, and then I gave it a prompt to qualify the prospects in that CSV with AI. And again, that was very early days. I think the OpenAI API just crashed half the time. But it worked, and it automated basically one human away from our operations. And then over time, I added more. I think the final first version that also did personalization took another 3 weeks. So I guess at most a month and a bit.
And do you recall this specific moment when you realized that you actually accidentally built something better than what $1 million agencies are doing right now? Do you remember this specific moment?
Yeah, it was the day we got so many meetings that Zoom broke. Like, we're getting meetings upon meetings. It was all like the calendar was all booked, and I still don't know what really happened. But as I switched from a meeting to another meeting, something in Zoom broke that made more sales calls come into at the same time, and me having the sales call with multiple different people. That was fun and stressful at the same time. But I found out not that many people get that many calls on cold email. And that was a bit weird to me because my entire experience with cold email is getting results. So when I realized that, I thought that the opportunity vehicle I was in was not big enough for the stack I just discovered. Yes, I could use this stack to get a couple tens of sales calls a month, because that was the most clients we could deliver as an agency, as a marketing agency for course creators. Or I could use the same tag to get as many calls as I want, an infinite number of calls for as many clients as I want, or at least as long as delivery is still looks fine. So I decided to go into the higher opportunity vehicle and the more scalable thing.
So this is actually curious because I just wanted to also to understand how long did it take you to go from this might work to this definitely work. Like how much did you, when was the moment when you realized that this idea is valid and this is definitely going to work?
Well, first of all, you can't know if something works. So I just decided to try it and go. I think I remember when I was still building the product. It was in maybe August, September of 2023, 2024. I was sending voice messages to my friends. I believe that if this works, I might start a new thing, a new business out of this. And it worked. Um, I don't remember when I made the decision to actually start a new venture. I just remember that it actually took me 8 days to. After the decision, it took me 8 days to, or 9 days to prepare and launch Ken AI, like everything, the whole business. And I got clients from my network, to be fair. I got clients in the first day. So it didn't take me too long to think about it and launch.
Great. And speaking about the clients, do you still remember your very first successful campaign? How was it? Like, what did you, what were you were thinking when you hit those 15% reply rate?
We had insane stats, especially for our first campaigns who are very new to market. And no one really did what we were doing back then. And everyone was still very impressed, even though I was very focused on quality. That hurt volume, at least initially, a lot. And we even had lots of delivery delays just because we just couldn't scale that tech so fast. But the results was speaking loud. Like we were getting 10, 15% positive reply rates for us and for our clients too. Well, the first campaigns were for us because we needed to get more clients. And those got, I think, 8% positive reply rates for a lead gen agency, which is a very, very, very saturated market. Everyone, I think, have a cold email that anyone receives a cold email, agencies or whatever. And then for our clients, we're getting even better reply rates. It depends on what they were selling and what the offer was. But what really made them successful, at least in the beginning, was their offer. Now we stacked other things on top. But when it was just cold email and pure quality sending, it was just the offer.
Yeah. So can we actually dig a little bit more into the launching period of the Ken AI? Can you tell me a bit more about how did you launch, and also do you still remember who was the very first person outside Ken Group to ask about your system?
I know the dates because I noted them down. I know I made the decision on February 2nd, and then I launched it on February the 11th of 2024. As soon as I decided to launch this, I did my research. I then created the website and all of the sales and marketing material that I would need. I launched a couple of cold email campaigns because, yeah, we are a cold email agency. And then I manually reached out to everyone whom I knew who could be a good fit to try this out. And I think I gave them a couple free leads or whatever to them. And on February the 11th, we launched, and by launch I don't mean big advertising spend, because obviously we didn't have the money. I just mean we started all of our marketing, which is cold email campaigns. In the same day, we reached out to everyone. I got clients. I got, I think, four clients in my first day, and then 8 or 10 clients in the first 2 weeks out of cold email campaigns. As beta users, they didn't know they were beta users, but they were very beta users. So that's how we launched, and I didn't really stop and plan this out much. I didn't spend lots of time crafting pitch decks or branding material. I just, let's get customers and see if this works first.
How did you price your first clients? Because it's exciting to see those very first clients for. Let's remember about them. But do you remember how did you take the decision to price them? So how do you price it? And did you just make up a number, or it was a formula back then? What was it?
Well, first of all, initially with my second business, let's go into my second business, I made up numbers, and it's fine, but it didn't really work. Plus, unless you are a really big business with lots of volume, you can't really test pricing, because if you get a couple of sales calls a week, you can't really test pricing on that. What I did with KenAI is I made my gross margin to be 80%, which means take your costs, 5x that's the price. Now, that doesn't mean your net profit is 80%, but that's what I did. And my gross costs were actually, to be honest, very low. Like I had to pay AI costs, data costs, and email delivery costs, which is, well, basically it. And then I 5x that, and I had a price of about $1,500 or $2,000 a month. Now pricing is a bit different, but that was it at that time.
Great. Speaking about the email delivery, let's talk a little bit about the concept of outbound in general. What do you think the most B2B companies get completely wrong about the outbound itself, from your experience?
I think most B2B companies, including our leads, is they think of each channel as something separate and something that by itself works. And that applies to basically every channel. Cold email, cold other social media platforms, ads on any platform. They think that this by itself makes marketing successful. And while any of these channels work, and they work really well for different companies, the most consistent way to actually get results is to do all of them at the same time, and for them to integrate together and achieve what I call brand omnipresence. Basically, when someone who is within your ideal client profile, they can't get rid of you in a good way, in the sense that they open Instagram, they see you, they open their email, they see you, they open LinkedIn, they see you. It might be content, it might be ads, it might be cold outreach. Either way, they see you. So once you do that, I don't know, 20 times, 50 times for each prospect, that's when they sign up. At least for B2B. B2B specifically needs lots of trust, and that's a very consistent way to build trust. Now, cold email by itself works, and works very well in lots of cases by itself. But that's like, for that you need a very good offer. For that you need a very good brand, extremely good fundamentals of cold email, which we do, but still it's still hard to get one. And it's just too much. You basically rely on luck.
Exactly. That's my follow-up question to you. Like, do you believe that a cold email is the saving grace of a business itself? Cold email itself?
No, unless it's the last thing of a brand omnipresence strategy to fill in. cold email is just a channel. Facebook ads is just a channel. Anything is just a channel. All of them aid your marketing strategy a lot. All of them are important. But at the end of the day, it's just a channel. It's like having a feature of a product. And that might be a killer feature, but without having a full product, you don't have a business. It's a very similar thing here. Cold email is a saving grace, and I know a couple of my clients did this when a business has everything like ads, content, but they don't have maybe the last touch point when someone sees you everywhere, but until you reach out to them to actually ask them with a CTA, they don't really sign up or they don't pay attention to you. That is a saving grace. Although you still need to do everything else first in order to get that luck.
Is there something wrong with a cold email that a business owner has to be aware of in general? Is there something wrong with the cold email itself?
I can tell what I'm annoyed at. I'm annoyed at the over-reliance on deliverability. Everyone wants to have the best email infrastructure or do the DKIM settings this way and that's the only right way, or just fine-tune all of the wrong stuff when they should just focus about the effort into maybe sending better emails. Like our philosophy is, if you just send good emails and have good enough email infrastructure, Google, Gmail, Outlook, all of these email platforms will allow your email to go through because it's a good email. That's what they want. And what they want is they just want to incentivize people to send good email. And that's why spam filters exist. I guess too much of our industry is focusing on tricking the spam algorithm with a certain setting that mimics a good email instead of just being a good email. Either way, if you somehow pass the filters, either way, if it's a bad email, that someone won't buy. So why focus on that when you could just focus on sending good emails?
Exactly. And I know that you have already a big experience with helping the SaaS companies. I know that you've helped scale already more than 20 B2B SaaS companies. What patterns do you see in the ones that succeed versus those that fail?
I already talked about a couple of them, which is they think of cold email as a singular channel when they should do more. Ideally, you want to transform cold email into warm email. Basically, reach out to them on other channels first, like you do matched ads so that they see on Facebook, Instagram, whatever first, and then the final touch point is cold email, because that gets to the inbox. It's a personal one-on-one space, so it gets good ROI. But still, if you reach out to them in the personal one-on-one space without trust, it better be a good email. So if you just focus on cold email alone, you're basically relying on luck. And then you might have a tough offer to sell cold email. What I mean by that is, yes, even if you sell something that requires long sales cycles and just a lot of meetings and trust, on cold email you can't advertise that. You need to think of something else to gain trust, something very frictionless. The way to think about it is if someone checks your email, the only time they say it is checks your email on their way to work, on their phone, does it still make sense? And will they make the next action? What we do is we add very easy to consume lead magnets. Maybe that could be information, that could be easy tools. Maybe it could be just a tool that they bookmark and then they use later. But if it's, let's assume, a call, or if it's a very long piece of information to consume, it probably won't work out. So that's another thing. Offer should be easy to consume because email has 100 words and it's very short. It's basically the same thing as all social media nowadays, except podcasts.
Great. What's your moat? What's your personal moat?
Moat in the days of AI is very interesting. Technical moat basically is non-existent. AI can build anything. We have a moat in the sense that our tech is actually scalable. If you ask AI to build what we do, well, it maybe can, but it won't scale past a couple thousand emails. Not very well, at least. But I guess one of the biggest moats is knowledge. Knowledge that you can't really get by asking AI, you can only get by, well, experience and trying lots of stuff and seeing what works and what doesn't. And that's a pretty big moat, to be honest. Yes, even though AI can build our maybe technical stack, it actually won't know what technologies to use, it won't know how to do this and how to do that. Then decision making in and of itself is a moat, knowing what to build, or you want to build and how much effort to build, to put into building that thing. That's one of the biggest moats. And all of other stuff like branding, it's starting to be a moat, and then team building, also it's starting to be a moat. All of the other stuff is making this hard to replicate. But I think information is the first one and the one that's been the longest here.
I'm just curious, like if someone wanted to copy your exact model tomorrow, what would be the hardest part for them to replicate?
Oh, good question. The good stuff with cold email is that it's private and no one sees you. So you can do anything, you can test anything. And if you're growing really well with cold email, but your competitors essentially can't see what you're doing because you're just reaching out to your prospects. So they can't really know. And that applies to basically every business, and that's why cold email is also very valuable. Now, I think our AI program is one of the most advanced ones on the market. And I can tell you how it works right now. It's just that I know no one will really do it. Our AI program has a huge prompt to follow the rules, and it just writes AI variables in an email. It doesn't write the email. We have a human copywriter who actually writes the emails, and that's why also all campaigns get good results. But those AI variables are very good. Our AI is made to integrate very well in those emails. And then we have an AI that checks if a previous AI was good enough based on a couple of tests, and if not, it goes in a loop on, and it rewrites stuff until it becomes good enough. And that's, yes, a bit hard to replicate technically, but mostly no one will really do it because it costs a lot. So, but we can thankfully afford to do it. So We just do it.
Great. As a founder, if you could go back and tell yourself one thing before starting KNAI, what would it be? As a founder first.
Well, it's a bit of a stupid question because you can't really travel in time, so uh, what I would tell myself is different from what I would tell others who are now in the same position as I was. If I would tell myself, I would just mean don't be as worried that it won't work out, because it will work out. But again, that's kind of stupid because I didn't know this back then. And I can't really tell this to anyone else because maybe it won't work out for them. I don't know. Then they'll blame me. What uh, what I would tell other founders is try more stuff. Do more research. Just do more research in the beginning. And by research, let me specify, I don't mean Google stuff and ask AI to do stuff. I actually mean speak with people, find problems, solve those problems, see what solution works, try to scale that solution, find that it doesn't work, find another solution, and so on and so forth. That's what I mean by research.
I know that your journey is going actually quite fast. So I'm sure that you have more lessons to tell to the founders that are trying to build a similar solution. Because I know the technical part is quite challenging, what we are building. We are dealing with the hard infrastructures. It's very technical. Definitely you need the brains there. But there is also, as a founder, you're also keen to build a scalable team. And managing a team is also not easy. Managing the human capital. So do you see any lessons for the founders from this point of view, from this angle, that you are building a business not only technical, but also there are people on your side? Which lessons did it give to you? Let's say the last 6 months of experience of having a growing team as well.
Well, as my executive assistant would tell me, add video descriptions to tasks. Just do better task descriptions on your project management system, so that in a couple of minutes you can save someone on your team a couple hours. Overall communication has taken so much time lately because you have to embed your vision of marketing, product, operations, whatever, into everyone in the company. And that's getting harder and harder, obviously, as you scale. Because otherwise, everyone will do different things, or won't do anything at all, or won't do the way you like it to be done. And all of these things are important, so you just need to invest more into clear communication. You just need to tell people. Obviously, if you are a solo founder or just two guys in the same room, you don't really need that. But once you start building a team, you need to make sure everyone knows what they are working on, what they're supposed to work on, why, and why that's important. And that sucks at first, but then all you have to do is communicate, and I think that's when it gets more fun. If you have to do actual work, like coding, and then at the same time communicate, yeah, that sucks. But if you focus more and more in maybe communication and delegation, that's when the journey starts being a bit more pleasant.
Great. And I know that you are very good with predictions, and we are having lots of predictions here. From your point of view, how do you see the future of the cold email? How do you think this cold email is going to develop itself?
First of all, I'm good with predictions just because I don't really make many of them. And about cold email, it's to be honest, it's hard to know. The journey cold email was on is first it was one-on-one email because email just started and there was nothing else to do. And then it was mass templatized cold email, and now it's mass AI cold email. I think it will take another road as either people will get annoyed or spam algorithms will get tougher and tougher. Mass cold email will start to disappear in the spam folders, and then it will be back to one-on-one cold email, but it won't be one-on-one cold email from the 90s. It would be probably for sure AI aided or AI so powerful that it's able to write insanely good emails that actually get read and matter to anyone. But there are lots of challenges in that journey, but that's where the trend is heading. People like and appreciate good emails, be it they are cold or warm or hot or whatever. They like good content. So we need something that is able to create that powerful email content that's actually personalized for them. And it's not just simple variables that everyone, including us, is doing. It's just we need to make the tag good enough for that. It's replicating me with a context and intelligence, maybe of a founder or of a person who wants to send emails to millions of people as if you'd know them and maybe spent 45 minutes on a late night writing that cold email. I know for a fact that I sometimes receive those cold emails. It's very rare, but when I do, I always reply to them. And I know most people also reply to them. So if that's successful, we just need scale, and that's where we're heading.
Sounds like a plan. This is good. Sounds right. Well, thank you, and see you in a trimester to see if it's getting well or not. This is done. This is a wrap.
Thank you. Take care.